So I got it into my head that I needed a pair of traditional Japanese pants called hakama, traditionally worn by samurai. Rather than just outright buying a pair, my daughter has some skills as a seamstress, so I asked if she would sew them for me. And I decided to go ahead and buy my own fabric, and I thought at the same time I might as well dye it myself using traditional Japanese dyes. Now what I'm mixing here is natural indigo powder, or shizen aizome. It doesn't actually like to mix with water very well, so what you saw me do earlier was paste it out first with rubbing alcohol to break the surface tension and then add the water. Now, dyeing with indigo also requires a little bit of chemistry here, as it requires both a high alkalinity and an oxygen reduction in the vat. To achieve that, I mixed up some soda ash for the alkalinity and then also a little bit of sodium hydrosulfite, which will reduce the oxygen in the water. So I'm using roughly 4 gallons of water as well as 100 grams of high quality indigo powder that was pasted out. And then I added in my soda ash and finally the sodium hydrosulfite to reduce the oxygen in the vat. You have to be careful not to mix in extra oxygen because we're trying to reduce that. And after letting it sit for about an hour, the vat is woken up completely, the indigo has been reduced, and it's time to dye. From your perspective here, the top of my water still appears to be a deep midnight blue, but underneath the surface it's actually a hunter green. And that is the result of the oxygen reduction and the waking of the natural indigo. After about 3 minutes in the vat, I pull it out and it will actually flash to classic indigo blue as it's exposed to the oxygen in the air. Now I'm actually dipping these for about 3 minutes each and massaging them while they're underwater so that it penetrates completely. And as you pull it out, you want to make sure that you don't get drips into your active vat, which could potentially introduce unwanted oxygen into the water. Now, as soon as the indigo has oxidized, you can actually dip this again and continue dipping to achieve a darker shade, but your returns will be diminishing. And as you see, while I was at it, I decided to go ahead and dye my shirt too, because why not? Now, as you can see, indigo stains about everything, and I figured why not use it on a wooden mask? So after boiling the resin out of the wood and stabilizing it, I went ahead and dipped, and as you see, it has the classic green and it becomes blue. Now back to the fabric I'm dyeing. Indigo isn't the only thing I'm using. I'm also going to use Bengara or red ochre pigment along with kakishibu as a binder. And this is another unique traditional Japanese dye that is made from fermented bitter persimmon. And the resulting dye has a lot of unique and interesting properties. It is actually highly antimicrobial, and it's also photoreactive, so it darkens in sunlight. Indigo does not, but the kakishibu does.